Okay, so this is my first slideshow presentation on the benefits of a plant-based diet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to go over the health benefits of a plant-based diet. The next video, I have 3 more videos lined up, and it's going to be also the environmental benefits of a plant-based diet, how it can help the environment, also how it can help against factory farming, so animal abuse and that type of stuff. And the last one will be about how it can actually save people money by switching plant-based, because there is a myth that it is more expensive to go plant-based. And the reason I picked this topic of just plant-based, just like overall, is because it's something I'm passionate about. It's something that I thought I kind of laughed before I really knew about it, and I think a lot of people have that thought, that that initial reaction. And my goal here is not to change people, not to, say go change, go be vegan or go plant-based, but it's kind of to educate people the best I can, because obviously I'm not an expert, but I think it's an interesting topic, and if I can open people's eyes up to dig into more research by themselves, I think that that's something good. I mean, because even if you don't go fully plant-based or vegan, you can still incorporate more foods, which can help the environment, and it's something that's good in general. So the first slide here is a plant-based diet can protect against some cancers. So according to the World Health Organization, or WHO, around a third of all cancers are preventable by a lifestyle change. And obviously this includes diet, exercise, and all that type of stuff. So eating legumes regularly can reduce the risk of having colon cancer by around 9 to 18%, and this is a member of the pea family, so that's interesting. That's actually something that I did not know before my research. And studies also show that eating at least 7 portions of fresh fruits or vegetables per day can lower someone's risk of dying from cancer by up to 15%, which is also very interesting. Then another one is, generally, fully plant-based eaters, somebody who's fully vegan, consumes more vegetables and fruits in general than someone who's not plant-based. So this also explains why a lot of studies, close to 100, came to the conclusion that vegans could benefit from this 15% low chance of dying and or developing some cancers. And, overall, these studies have shown why fruits and vegetables are an important part of any diet, and why they should be incorporated more into everyone's diet. And I will have the articles I use linked at the end of the slideshow. And here's a quote I like from Benjamin Franklin. It is, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, which is really interesting. Basically, it's saying, if you take a little bit now, 1 ounce, to prevent something, it's worth a pound of cure. Because if you develop a disease such as cancer or something like that, it's gonna be hard. So it's obviously easier to stop it. So also a plant-based diet has been linked to a lower risk of heart disease. So studies have shown that a plant-based diet can lower the risk of developing high blood pressure by up to 75%. Studies have also shown that a plant-based eater, somebody who's fully vegan, has up to a 42% lower chance of dying if heart disease is developed. So basically, if you do develop heart disease and you are vegan, plant-based, you will be at a lower risk to actually die. So you have a better chance of surviving. And randomized control studies have shown that a plant-based diet is rather effective at lowering blood sugar levels, LDL cholesterol, and overall cholesterol levels rather than the standard American diet and other diets that the plant-based vegan diet was compared to. And compared to the standard American diet, people who are fully plant-based also tend to eat more nuts and whole grains, which are both good for your heart. So I mean, this is it's no surprise that people who are plant-based and vegan, they do consume more of these foods. And a big takeaway from this is plant-based diet could leave a person with significantly less risk factors that contribute to developing heart disease or dying from heart disease if you do get it. And also, a plant-based diet can help with the loss of excess weight. So if somebody is overweight, if you're just looking to lose a few extra pounds, a plant-based diet can help with this. And many studies have shown that plant-based eaters tend to be thinner and have a lower BMI, body mass index, compared to those who are not plant-based, those who follow the standard American diet. And with the use of multiple different randomized control studies, which is like the most highly regarded research in science for these type of studies, it has shown that plant-based diets are more effective for losing weight rather than other diets. This is diets such as the American diet, standard American diet, such as keto, such as all this other stuff. And in one specific study, one plant-based diet has helped those lose over 9 pounds more in an 18-week span, rather than the diet it was compared to, which is interesting. And the plant-based eaters in the study, they were allowed to eat until they felt full, and they still lost the most weight, even compared to those who followed a calorie restrictive diet, which is interesting. So, you can eat what you want, that's plant-based and vegan, but at the same time, you're not constricted. You don't have to really count calories, which is nice for some people. And even when a plant-based vegan diet is not followed perfectly, for the study at least, the group would still lose a little more weight than those who followed a standard Western diet, a standard American diet. And, this obviously just consists of, what most people eat, which is, fast food, pasta, chicken, just the basic things that, people have in their fridge. Most people have in their fridge every day. And a plant-based diet is actually richer in certain nutrients. And compared to a typical American diet, a plant-based diet will lead you to eating more fruits and vegetables, nuts, and all that stuff, which, is more nutritional. And this will allow someone with a plant-based diet to receive more nutrients than they would otherwise, than if they, would be following a normal American diet, or a standard American diet. And multiple studies have reported that a plant-based diet tends to provide more antioxidants, fiber, and beneficial plant compounds. They also seem to be richer in magnesium, folate, vitamins A, C, E, and potassium. However, you can also not get the proper nutrients from a plant-based diet, so you have to be sure of that. And, if you don't handle your vegan diet properly, you can be deficient in vitamins such as B12, you can be deficient in iron, zinc, calcium, and you can also be deficient in essential fatty acids. And whole plant-based diets tend to have more amounts of certain nutrients. It is also important, though, that you make sure to get all of the nutrients that may not be consumed in a plant-based diet. So, you can obviously do this by supplementing, such as taking vitamins and all that stuff. And a plant-based diet, plant-based vegan diet, can also help improve kidney function and lower blood sugar levels. A plant-based diet can help those with declining kidney function, as well as those with type 2 diabetes. With a fully plant-based or vegan diet, people tend to have lower blood sugar levels, higher insulin sensitivity, and this is basically where the body responds to insulin, because with diabetes, your body doesn't respond to insulin, so you have to pump it in and all that stuff. And it also tends to give people a 50% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, which is a pretty big, significant lower risk. Studies have also shown that a plant-based diet can lower blood sugar levels in those who are diabetic more than the recommended diet from the American Diabetes Association, which is interesting. The people who kind of push out these diets that people with diabetes should follow. It seems that a plant-based vegan diet is actually helping them more than these diets that are recommended to them. And in one study, 43% of those who followed a plant-based diet were able to reduce the amount of blood sugar medication they were taking, and this is compared to only 26% of those in the same group who followed the American Diabetes Association recommended diet. So that's also another thing, another fact that shows that a plant-based diet could be better for you if you have diabetes than the diet that's recommended by the American Diabetes Association. And overall, the takeaway is a plant-based diet can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes and help those from also not developing type 2 diabetes. And here's my source, and there's also more sources in that one article, which I kind of dug into, but that can all be found in the in that healthline.com, the article I used there. But I hope people enjoyed this, learned a little bit, got interested. Maybe they want to do some research on them, by themselves. But if you made it this far, I appreciate it, and look out for the next video. Thanks.